My name is Ava Skolnick.
And I'm Alana Butler.
And we both work on a number of sexual health research projects here at Policy Lab.
As researchers whose focus is impacting the sexual and reproductive health outcomes for young people in our community, it's really important for us to understand the context that young people are making their health decisions within. This means that we want to think about the sex education that young folks receive in the classroom. The information that kids learn about and discuss in a sex education classroom can make a really big difference for the decisions they make about their health and well-being for the rest of their lives.
The reverse is also true. The many kids who don't receive accurate information about sex and puberty in the classroom are more likely to make decisions that can negatively impact their health in the future. As two former sex educators and current sexual health researchers, we have a few insights that might be helpful for you to know about why sex education matters both inside and outside the classroom, as well as how sex education is affected by the current policy landscape.
So, sex education is obviously a lot more than just talking about sex.
Yeah.
We know, as being former sex educators ourselves, that a lot of what young people want to talk about is puberty. Why am I getting acne for the first time? What is this body hair? And what is this odor? And what do I do about it? And also, what are all these new feelings that I have? And what do I do with them? Am I okay?
Yeah, and in addition to all of those topics, sex education is also a really important place to talk about fostering healthy relationships.
Mm-hmm.
As the Me Too movement has gained more traction, it's been a powerful reminder that we need to be talking to young people about issues like consent, advocating for yourself, and identifying unhealthy relationships before they turn unsafe. And all of these topics we can talk about in a sex education classroom.
Definitely. And of course, sex education is also about talking about sex.
Right.
So that means that we might talk about how to use a condom, how STDs are transmitted, and how to test for STDs so young people really understand how to protect themselves. In fact, research shows that young people who have received comprehensive sex education are less likely to have an unintended pregnancy and also less likely to acquire an STD.
And so comprehensive sex education doesn't just happen in the classroom, it happens outside the classroom as well. Mm-hmm. Preteens and teens really say that their parents are their biggest influence in their decisions about sex. So teens who report having open and honest communication with their parents, they're more likely to delay sexual activity, they're more likely to use condoms and contraceptives the first time they have sex, and they're also more likely to have fewer sexual partners. And so therefore it's really important that parents have open and honest communication with their teen, and we actually have a website that we've developed to help parents navigate those conversations. You can check it out at parentsaretalking.com. Finally, sex education doesn't look the same everywhere. Despite the importance of sex education, many kids across the country don't receive it in school. Only 24 states and DC require some form of sex education to be taught in schools. A larger group, 27 states and DC, mandate that, when provided, sex and HIV education programs meet certain general requirements, but less than half of those states require that the instruction be medically accurate.
In our backyard here in Pennsylvania, sex education is not required to be taught in public schools. Because of this, it is likely that students in the state are receiving variable and inconsistent information. According to an analysis from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, only 50% of Pennsylvania secondary schools taught students about all contraceptive methods, and just over 50% taught students how to correctly use a condom. The research is really clear. Comprehensive sex education is a really important tool in preventing unintended teen pregnancies, STDs and HIV transmission, and establishing a lifetime of healthy behaviors.